Just a quick one, guys, before we get into today's video. I want you to check out the channel's official clothing store, RFC Clothing. Each design is limited edition and is perfect to wear on a match day, on the terraces at Ibrox, down your local, or cozy in the comfort of your own home. Do browse our t-shirts by going down into the link in the description or going to rfcclothing.com. Anyway, let's get into today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Guys, in today's video, as always, we are here to bring you up to date with all of the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. That includes our title, yes, Albion Rrahmani to Rangers. Is it back on? Well, that's what reports out in Romania are saying. We'll dive deep into that a little bit later on in today's video, but first I want to discuss our upcoming matches and maybe just, round up the sort of weekend as well. Look, of course, we are back and Rangers are back in the same fashion as they left off last season, disappointing us at the weekend. Now, I've seen a lot of Rangers fans be a little bit more optimistic than I have been, stating that we're a point better off than last year, and I admire your optimism, I really do. But, I still do think we're in a lot of trouble and we've got a lot of work to do. However, I'm not going to sit here and rant and rave in this video. This is more about looking forward and what we're going to be trying to do. Of course, games are coming thick and fast. August is a very, very important month for us, whether that be in the Scottish Premiership, our first cup competition, and now the Champions League. That seems very, very important towards our transfer ambitions, because after that Hearts game, I was expecting a little bit more transfer news with regards to incomings and outgoings, but still nothing much on it just yet. However, thinking about it, we have got Dynamo Kiev next, and it's going to be a very, very hard game. Of course, we do play them tomorrow, the first leg of that third qualifying round out in Poland. And to be fair, I am very, very nervous for this game because they have scored a shit ton of goals, pardon my French, in their last 4 matches. And our defence is absolutely honking. Yes, we could probably bring Robin Proper into the team, which I do believe will probably take us up to that sort of next level. But still, they're scoring goals for fun. They're unbeaten in their last 12 games. So it is going to be a tough ask to go out there and get a victory. So here's hoping we can try and turn it around, but I'm not overly confident going into this game against Kiev. After that, guys, then we've got Motherwell at Hampden. So there's so much weird parts to this season so far. It's not started well either. Looking at the Scottish Premiership table, people aren't really going to be looking at the table at this moment in time, but we currently sit 7th. It was a weekend of mostly draws, really. St Mirren and Celtic, the only sides that actually got wins this weekend, and it sees Celtic obviously go to the top of the table as they beat Kilmarnock 4-0 and St Mirren beat Hibernian 3-0. So everyone else was drawing, but St Johnstone and Aberdeen playing today, I think. But apart from Celtic and St Mirren, they're the only sides that won. But here's hoping we can get back to winning ways very, very soon with some transfer reinforcements. Now, remember Albion Rrahmani? Well, Albion Rrahmani is a striker, and of course that plays for Rapid Bucharest. And it did seem as though that deal was getting closer and closer. Around a month ago, it seemed like that was the striker that we were going in for, whether that be from inside Rangers sources, whether that be from sort of Romanian sources. Everyone seemed to think that we were going to be going in for this player. At one time, in fact, there was said that we even put in a bid for the player. However, since then, everything went a little bit quiet. He kind of came out in a press conference stating that he's happy to stay at Rapid Bucharest. He has ambitions of playing in the top 5 leagues. Leo Lennon came out and spoke about the situation as well and stated that he's confident that the player will be staying. But this all came after he was following Glaswegian restaurants and all this kind of stuff. However, recently, over the last sort of 12 hours or so, sources out in Romania are now stating that Rangers are, quote-unquote, preparing to make an offer for Rrahmani. They claim that Rapid originally wanted around 8 million euros, which is £6.8 million for him this summer. However, the report adds that Rapid demands are now 6 million euros, £5.1 million, plus a 20% sell-on clause. It's highlighted that Rrahmani is currently out injured, but a deal can't be ruled out just yet. So this is what's being said today with regards to it. apparently a little bit less than what was being reported initially. And to be fair, for a player that had apparently 6 or 7 clubs interested in his services, it did go very, very quiet. I did think he picked up a bit of an injury or whatever, but it's now being said that Rangers are potentially preparing an offer and that they only want around £5 million for the player. Again, whilst I do, the fact that I've brung you this source to the table means there's a bit of substance there, but as always with these sort of transfer rumours, take it with a pinch of salt until I kind of say the source is, gospel. This source isn't gospel, but, the fact that we're making a video on it, it's not completely nonsense. So, I would like Albion Rrahmani. I think it's clear as day that we need a new striker. If you watch my reaction, I've been saying it for a very, very long time that Rangers need a striker. There's no way that we can rely on Cyril Dessers this season, and that game was the point I was making. Big chances, and he misses them. Misses sitters time and time again, and it can be very frustrating. Well, you're not really going to get too many chances all the time for him to miss it. And people make the argument, well, he scores 20-odd goals last season. Yes, but he probably could have scored about 50 goals. Honestly, the amount of clear-cut chances that he had. So I can't do another season with him leading the line. I think Rangers fans will not be able to do the same as well. But Albion Rrahmani, for me, I think is a fantastic player. I really do. It doesn't seem as though Clement really fancies Shanklin. He doesn't really fancy Bojan, or I think Bojan might be a bit too expensive for us, but he scored 18 goals in 28 games last season, and you can say what you want about the league, he's still scoring goals, still getting assists, and he's still got numbers to his game. And actually, on a technical basis, I did a massive deep dive on him around a month ago and why I think he would take Rangers to that next level. I do think he's a lot better in terms of a striker than what Shanklin is and what Mivioski is, and would fit our business model not buy cheap, but sort of sell with a bit of ceiling. Shanklin's an older player, but if this was a one player here, I think this would be a fantastic signing for us. However, at the end of the day, I still need to wait for our sort of gospel sources to bring this one to the table. But that's what stuff in Romania are saying with regards to Albion Rrahmani. And could it potentially be on the cards? Well, I hope so. If not, we definitely need a new striker. It has been very quiet on the transfer front. There was a lot of talk last week. Jose Cifuentes apparently going to that Greek club. Hadji apparently going to Fiorentina. Goldson obviously made the move to Aris Limassol. There was more talk about Todd Cantwell. This needs to hurry up over this next week. We need to get this shit done. Get these players out of the door that don't want to be there, or that Philippe Clement doesn't want there, and start bringing in players. We definitely need an experienced midfielder. We definitely need a striker who's going to score us goals. And I would even go as far to say that we need another centre-back after seeing Dummer and Dummer at the Mac in the last game. And then, of course, a new right back as well. There's so much, but at bare minimum, central midfielder and a striker is of the essence. Rangers fans, what do you think about Albion Rrahmani? Is he a player that you would like to see at the football club? Yes or no? Let me know your thoughts and score predictions for the game against Dynamo Kiev. Is there any of you guys optimistic ahead of the game that sees us beating Dynamo in Poland? Yes or no? As stated, let me know your score predictions down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. And if you haven't already checked out our summer collection, please do. Links down in the description, or go to rfcclothing.com. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.